Hello, church. Here we are on our midweek study. Uh, it's Tuesday afternoon late, and this will be up for tomorrow, this evening or tomorrow. Uh, got a couple of things before we wrap up the first chapter of James and possibly get into the second chapter. I'm not sure yet. It just kind of depends on how much gabbing I do. Uh, Wanted to bring you up to speed. Some of you probably weren't there Sunday and may not have even got to watch on video. But we have several things going on at the church. We got a work day tomorrow, and we'll be out there trying to spruce up the place a little bit. Spring cleaning, I think they call it. So we'll be doing that tomorrow morning starting at 9 o'clock. But what I wanted to share with you is number one, that Ben Green passed away. Many of you probably do not know Ben and Elaine, but they lived down the street from us here on Beach Street and for many years, and they were faithful members of the Christian church here in Scio. They still maintain their membership, and even though they can't attend, they're both in their mid to late 90s, and just wonderful people. Ben was a sharp finance man. Uh, Elaine was a teacher, and it just, you know, it just breaks my heart to see these last soldiers of the cross passing away. But Ben, I think, was 97 or 98, about the same age as Gene. He was a veteran. He'll be buried Thursday at a graveside service at the National Memorial Cemetery over in Millersburg. Uh, they were such faithful members, good to us, blessed us in many ways. Uh, just I just really miss them, and uh, they've been over in Albany for many years too. So that's why they don't get to attend out here. Neither one of them are driving and haven't been for the past several years. So, but Ben and Elaine were just wonderful people. And now that Ben has begun the sunrise and morning of his eternal day, I just ask that you'd be praying for Elaine and the family. I know Ben had a son, and I'm not sure all the others. Elaine has some daughters, and they were just good people that supported us and encouraged us and blessed us in many ways. So please have Ben and Elaine. Ben for his day in heaven, and Elaine for carrying on and keeping things going at home. Uh, like I say, Elaine reiterated that she still considers Scio Christian Church her membership, her home. So that's one thing I wanted to get out of the way. The other thing is that Gene Nye is out of the hospital and at home. He's doing a little better, but the prognosis long term is not good. So we want to continue to pray for Gene and Marie. Again, senior saints. I mean, they've been members of the church since the mid 40s, and they've been married longer than I've been alive. So what do you say about that? But just pray for him. Gene's got congestive heart failure, so that's not a good thing. And he is 98 years old, and so we want to keep them in prayer. Uh, Lots of other prayer needs in that, and I didn't want to really get into that, but that's two, prime ones because they're so close to being home that it's not even funny. So we just appreciate them. Sunday or Friday, we're going to have a Good Friday service at our church. We're going to try and do this one a little different than the ones we've done in the past. I'm excited about the program and what we're going to do. Leon is working on it, and we'll be putting things together. But it sounds like it's going to be a very, very good uh, service, something new and different for us, but exciting nevertheless as we look back at Christ's Passion Week and his upcoming death and burial on that Good Friday. So we will we will be doing that Friday evening at the church building, and that'll start at 7 p.m. I don't expect it to be very long, maybe at the most an hour, probably 45 minutes or so. But please try and be there. It's going to be new and different, and we just would love to be able to share that time together as we reflect on Christ's sacrifice and what he went through that week, from the pinnacle of the arrival to the cross, and all that he suffered in between is heart wrenching. So that's coming up for Friday evening. And then on Sunday, we will have sunrise service. We're going to do that starting at 7 a.m. We're going to do it. Our hope is, I just checked the weather, and tentatively it's going to be a lower chance of rain. We're going to set up a big tent out in the parking lot, maybe a couple of canopy things. The temperature will probably be in the low 40s, upper 30s, low 40s at 7 o'clock in the morning. So if you can make it, come help us celebrate. We're going to try and do some things a little different too. We want to try and break out of this shell that we've lived in, churches as a whole for many, many years, in fact, centuries, and really go back to that New Testament church and the thing that people had, not a boatload of theologians telling them what the church is, but the apostles and most of all Jesus Christ telling them what the church is and should be. And you're the church, so if you get the opportunity, please be there. Following that, we're going to have a breakfast, and then we're going to, following the breakfast, we will be having a Easter egg hunt. And I know people, oh, that term Easter, I use Resurrection Sunday. It's just been a part of my vocabulary for many years. And it wasn't that I saw anything nasty or rude about Easter. It's just a simple fact that's what we celebrate, the resurrection of the Christ. And so we'll be doing that and then having the Easter egg hunt after the breakfast. And then we'll go on, and at 10:45 we'll do our regular service. And I'm not sure exactly what all we're going to do there, but we're trying to make things a little new and different. I put a post on the community page inviting anybody and everybody to come and join us. I put down that there's no judging here. Come as you are. This is a safe place because we love Jesus and we love people. There isn't a person around that will not be welcomed in our fellowship and loved because Jesus loved us. So that's kind of what's going on, and I've already used up over half my time. So what I'm going to do is just finish up with the first chapter of James. And this is what hard hitting. I mean, James tells it like it is. And there is so much fact here and deep thought in the words that James, the brother of Jesus, shared with the folks in that day and share with us today, because God has preserved it for us. in His Word. And I just want to go back, and last week we were wrapping up on the 25th, and uh, the last few verses there. Uh, Verse 23, if you listen to the word, but you do not do what it says, you're like someone who looks in a mirror, and only the super rich had mirrors, but looks in a mirror and then turns away and forgets what he saw, forgets what he looks like. But whoever looks intently into the perfect law that gives freedom and continues in it, not forgetting what they have heard. And see, they heard because they didn't have the Bible yet. They heard, not forgetting what they had heard, but doing it, they will be blessed in what they do. And that wrapped up the first chapter, or the part of the wrap up of the first chapter. Now, the last verses in the chapter give us a challenge that, boy, I'll tell you, like I said earlier, James tells it like it is. Verse 26, those who consider themselves religious. Now that's a worship word. Many times in use previously, that was a word that would be translated worship or religious, service, whatever. There were several adaptive meanings for that word. But if you consider yourself religious or a worshiper, and yet you do not keep a tight rein on your tongue, you deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. Now keep in mind the context here. He's not saying that your tongue is all bad. He's saying that you need to keep a tight rein on it. You don't want anger. You don't want harmful things coming out. You don't want to be mean-spirited. We all have a lesson to learn there. And James is calling it for what it is. This is not good. You deceive yourself, and your religion is worthless. You have to pay attention to what you're saying, even what you're thinking. But anyhow, let's go on. I do want to get that wrapped up and finish this first chapter. Verse 27, religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this. This is almost as simple as the first command, the greatest commandment Jesus shared. Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this: to look after widows and orphans in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. Notice it doesn't say anything about the order of service, what you got to do at church when you're having church. It doesn't say anything about what you have to do to be doctrinally correct. James simply says, take care of orphans. Take care of widows in their distress. And don't let the world get you dirty. Patrick Mead says it that way. Don't get dirty by the world. Yeah. Can the world get you dirty? You bet it does. And there's none of us exempt from that. We all have to take care. We've got to keep a bridle on our tongue. We've got to keep ourselves unpolluted from the world. And that's so hard to do with everything that comes at us from this world. The television set, the movies, the videos, internet, all of it coming at you. And you have to think positive. Set your mind on things above. But he doesn't say a whole list of things that will make your religion pure and faultless. He says take care of orphans and widows in their distress and keep yourself clean. Don't let you get dirty by the world. That pretty much wraps it up. He goes on there, he says take care of the poor. Those that are thrown away, hurt, you know, love on them. Love on them until they want to know why you're doing it. And then you can say, because God loves me. And He loves you. And since He created you in His image, I'm going to love you. Because that's what Jesus would do. Keep clean. That should throw you a red flag right there. Don't get polluted by the world. Take care of those orphans and widows. Don't let anybody take the freedom you have from Christ from you. If people tell you, well, you need Jesus and you need to, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All I need is Jesus. He is the Word. He is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through Him. Stay focused on the mainest thing. My dad used to say that. Well, that's the mainest thing. Stay focused on the mainest thing, folks. Jesus. And come join us this weekend as we celebrate on Good Friday and Resurrection Day. God bless you. Pray you have a wonderful week, the rest of the week, and look forward to seeing you this weekend and maybe even tomorrow at work day. Bless you and keep going. Bye.